Okay, so I came across this. This is the Euro USD, but really looking at it, right? This is why I analyze the way I do, and I leave it on my chart so I can really see if the strategy that I've chosen really makes sense, right? We can look and see where we have what we're looking for is a 50 EMA. This is the 1 hour chart, by the way. 50 EMA and the pivot line crossover. They converge with one another. Price action touches on the blue line, which is the pivot, and that would trigger my entry. So, in other words, I would have a limit order wherever the blue line is. That's where I'm looking to enter. That's how my strategy is set up. Let me see if we can. So if I draw risk reward in for each one of these, you can kind of start to see how powerful the system is. And let's say that I'm aiming at, usually I'm aiming based on previous moves. So maybe this is price target 1, or maybe even this one. This is price target 1. Let me see if there's a way for me to do this actually. This will be kind of fly. If I can make it work. I'm gonna put a big number 1 right here. Right? So this previous low is number 1. I'm gonna do it just like this. That's number 1. This is price target number 2. And then this right here is gonna be price target number 3. So each time I get into a position, I'm gonna have to be aiming at 1, 2, or 3. It just depends. Okay, so for purposes of this illustration, I'll just run through this real quick, so you guys can get a feel for how I pick and analyze. So this is number 1. So number 1 would get a plus right here. Add an alert for not for the EMAs, just for the pair, right? Okay, so these are free charts. I need pro charts to do that. But what you want to do is have alerts. I'll have these orange lines signify. Let me make it a different color. I'm getting better at this, y'all. Y'all bear with me. So this pink line represents. Let's not do pink. Let's do a red line. Is the alert line. Can't use red either because we got that already. Dark blue. Dark blue is a price target. We'll just use that. Number 2 would be here. I'm sorry, H. So for y'all that use Tradingview, if you push Option H on your Mac, then you can drop a line in. Okay, so each time that I put a price target, it's going to be here. It's going to start here, alert here, and then it's going to go here to number 2, and then it's going to go all the way down to number 3. So I'm about to show y'all the profit potential on a move like this, where we have it trending downward and we see all these entries. This is another entry. This is the first time I've really dug into my strategy and how it's really set up. My stop is always just beyond the support. Since we're trending downwards, this is support. So this green line is support, the blue line is pivot point, and then the other green line is resistance. Let me see if I can make these a little bit brighter. There we go. So now you can really see those green lines. And that's how it's going to be. That's how I pick. And one of the ways that I use early on to really understand, I wonder if I can, yeah. Okay, so to really understand if we're in a good trend or not, is I look at the position. I look at the position of the bars, right? So the green, blue, green, and if it's inherently better than 1-to-1. So what that means is if I have this that I draw in, this is a 1-to-1 risk reward. And you can see that in the middle where the number is here, 1-to-1, because it's equal on the red side and on the green side. It's 100% equal. If there's some way that I can get into a position where these bars here are not evenly spaced and there's actually more reward than there is risk, then I do want to get in, because now we have a trend and it looks like I'm naturally going to do better than I'm going to do have my risk going forward, right? So I've said this in my other videos. 1-to-1 doesn't work for me. Even 2-to-1, I kind of turn my nose up to that too, because I've seen 3%, 4, 5, 6, and onwards on these moves. So I'm going to be looking for a bigger position most of the time. So I hope that makes sense. Let me go back to it one more time just so y'all can see. So inherently better 1-to-1, this right here, definitely. This one, not so much, but a little bit, barely. This one's pretty even. This was a big move because we had a big move here. And all this is, these bars are a signifier of the previous day's averages. So where the price went on average. Since there was a big move in price on the previous day, and it was mostly to the downside here, based on when the day started. So if I go back one, you'll see what I mean. Y'all bear with me, man. I know it. I just can't explain it as good as I'd like to yet. So this big move did not happen within yesterday, the previous day. The previous day starts right here, right where the bars first start forming horizontally. This is 4 p.m. and you can see that 1600 right there on the 30th. That's where the new trading day began. So most of what we saw happen was this pull up and then this drop down drastically, and then the next day formed. And when the next day formed, these bars are spaced based on the previous day's price averages, inherently better than 1-to-1, meaning that we're more likely to go on a downward move. MACD kind of told a similar story, whatever. And anyways, we're able to take that, and I'm going to show you how. So if I take this one, I'm going to point at 3 on all these, by the way, just so we're all on the same page here. And then we stop here. So I only put the risk reward spacer for one move, and then I stop once the next move begins so that we can see each one of them. It's a little trick I figured out. Okay, I see what I did here. This was like barely in there. Barely able to make that one happen. So now you're going to start to notice that the 3 makes the most sense for lots of these. As we get further and further down the sequence or whatnot, the first profit target and the second profit target don't really make sense for the second move and this third move, because it's so tight, it's so close to where we already are with the price action. So yes, we're going to choose for 3. On this one, it can go either way. So on this first move, I could probably stop at 1, but that's only 0.87, so I probably would go ahead and shoot for 2. 181. So let's be realistic and say that that's where we started. Boom, boom, boom. That's 3 positions down. The 4th position would look like this. And then we had a 5th, and then I took that one, and this is actually where the trend changed and went up. but I lost money right here. Just 1%, not a lot. Always only 1%. Risk managing, super important to risk management. Okay, so you're also going to notice that your profit potential begins to shrink as you get further and further down the combo. So this is why these early stage moves are super important. Um, Obviously, the first move has the most profit potential because we could drop all the way to 3, but realistically, I probably would not have seen the potential for it to really drop all the way down there before the move was really solidified, right? So if I say for 2, we're at 179. So I'm just going to count this up real quick so you guys can kind of see it. Let's see here. 179, 744. So we're at, well, let's just say 9% plus 5%, 14%, 15, almost 16, 17, 17% off of this move. This move spanned it from February 3rd until February 11th. So that's the power of this combo, this pyramid reversal strategy. And Infinite Prosperity teaches it, or at least they used to when Irek was there. And now Irek has his own class or whatnot. But I'm telling you, get those basics. Go take the Infinite Prosperity free course. Go update. I think it's like $400 to get all that information. By far, I shit you not, the best course that I've taken, the best course that I've come across on just the basics of Forex and really getting a strong handle. Anyways, just want to do that breakdown. This is the strategy that I started to use and kind of modified for myself. So I'm happy to teach you guys it. But I'm telling you, if you have that foundational knowledge, this is going to be a lot easier to grasp going in. So happy trading and holler at me. Hit me in the comment section if you guys got questions. Peace.